everybody, welcome to episode 11 of Building with Sand. It's Wednesday, very early Wednesday, 2nd of January 2013. I figured I'm just going to stop telling you guys what day this is going to be going up, because either you're not going to be watching it that day, or it doesn't really matter, because things will have changed. And I never record the same day as videos go up anyway, so I'm sitting over here looking at these towers I built a while back and thinking how those could be changed out. If I get all the way up there, I could make those look better, and I might do that off camera. But I was working, and I just put this highway in. It goes all the way from Old Town to the edge of the biome. And we'll get to this in a minute, what we've been working on. It's all covered. It's all filled in with ice, so you get the nice slippery effect. And earlier I finished this back wall. I don't think I showed it off. I finished this after the previous, not the episode before last. I got this wall up. And then off camera, finished working on the walls of the fort over here. Ended up going with a 2 high with the smooth stone, although I'm kind of debating whether or not I want it to be 3 high. It gives a little bit of a different look to it. The fort isn't completely round. We'll take a look. Here's the gate I did. I was kind of debating. I wanted something that looked kind of like a big wooden door, but we're going with this. It's hard to tell exactly why this shape is at first, but when we come back and we close the gates, they're like arrow slits, so you can shoot out the gates. I thought it was a cool effect. These I may or may not move these switches somewhere else. It'll depend on what is done in the inside of the fort. I did a kind of a layout here of how I want the courtyard to be and the building on the inside of the fort, although I haven't put the tower wall up yet. That side of the wall. Just do it from the outside. I did do really small towers on the corners, on these 2 corners. On the far corner there isn't one because that one tower is going to jut out. And then over here on this corner, the problem I was facing was that I didn't want to make this wall come out one more because it would interfere with the road. So this back wall comes out, and I put a line of stairs up here to give it the same size on top, and I wasn't really sure if I liked it, so I might just go with a straight. What I'm planning to do is to over here where this wall of the back of the palace comes out, I'm going to do an archway across there to the top of the fort and make a way so that, like, if there were guards up there, they could get to the back wall of the palace too. But that's not going to be till after I do some more work on the walls. I'm not planning to leave them bare like this, but I wanted to get them up, and the inside's done first before I get back to that. So I guess what we're going to do is work on the inside. And what I'm thinking of doing is setting up this area first, and then going from there, because I'm not really sure if I want something that is uniformly the same thickness all the way around the building, but we'll see, because I'm going to want to divvy up the fort for certain things. You're going to have the barracks, you're going to have the storeroom, you're going to have like a eating area and kitchens. We're going to need a place. You're going to have regular barracks, you'll have sergeant's barracks, and you'll have officer's barracks. And then you have an area so you can go downstairs to get to the prison. And there's also going to be the armory in here. So there's a whole lot going on, and I don't think keeping the walls, or like the walls of the inside, a uniform. I set it up for 4. 4 in between each wall. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I wanted the courtyard in the center to be pretty big because it's supposed to be like a parade field and a training area. So what I'm going to do is build these walls in a square, mostly a square, and then try to figure out where I want everything, and then we'll start divvying up there. And if like an area, say, needs to be bigger, we can just infringe on the courtyard, and what that'll do is it'll give the fort, the inside of the fort, much more of a dynamic feel. Like people, like this is a cramped space where a lot is going on. I came across a blueprint actually of a fort. I think it was for a model fort or something, but it was pretty interesting because it had all the different areas laid out, and none of them were, you know, uniform. So it'll be good, a good little reference guide. And the inside here, I got this one block over here, is only going to be like this floor. The ground level is only going to be about that high, and then you're going to have some ramparts and stuff up top. And I've got some ideas on how to make things look cooler up there. But first I want to go and take a nap, make a day. Not that it's really a big deal. If we start getting attacked by mobs inside the fort, then we know the fort's defenses aren't very well set up. So it's about a little after 1 o'clock right now in the morning here, Central Time. I'm not sure. Well, that might be good, because if we have these we have the controls for the gates, and I kind of want to leave them there, or at least put them somewhere similar. I was thinking about maybe running two of them together, like running a redstone line underneath and up, or somewhere else, so you could have both from one side. But I kind of like the idea that you'd have two guards on each side of the gate, controlling each door for whatever purpose. I do want to have them inside like a gatehouse in a way. I'm not sure, but we're gonna set. I think I want to have it like this. And what's going to go happen is that's going to be like the rough beginnings of, well, definitely not the right size. I don't know if you hear that squeaking. It's the cat. The cat, we have two cats, and one of the cats has my schedule, which is midday to late night, and the other cat has a normal human schedule. But this one likes to come around late at night when I'm doing something, preferably when I'm recording, and beg for pets, as I call it. So I'm just going to do like a bare bones kind of thing here to just kind of feel out how I want this done. I'm already thinking like parts of it are definitely going to have to be bigger. If you're going to want a room for people to eat, it's going to have to be bigger, and all sorts of other things. It might be okay size right now for barracks rooms, but I'm not sure. I don't want it. I think when I have more of a three-dimensional skeleton up, I can figure out better exactly what kind of size I need to do. And I don't think I'm going to keep it all. It's pretty sure it's definitely not going to be all sandstone like this. I'm going to try to intermix different things. I don't like having it completely all the same texture like this. It's kind of disgusting me right now, actually. But this is more of a just for startup, you know. You guys know what I mean. So yeah, it's pretty late right now. If you guys haven't figured it out, I'm very much a night person. I've pretty much always been a night person. I think my, I don't know why. I'd say times in my life where I was forced to be a day person were probably the most miserable. This time of night, like around midnight, it feels like I would guess like a normal person's 5 p.m. like evening time, and I'm kind of most awake at this time of day, and I get my most work done. It's just good. It's just good all around. So I figured I might as well encapsulate on that and get some recording done. So I'm thinking, now that I have this set up, that the courtyard here could definitely use, or could definitely be smaller, for sure. I don't know how many people would man afford of this size, but lining them all up would not even need, you know, half of this size of a courtyard. So how much space do I have in here? 4 or 5. We'll open it up to be a 6 across. If I was going to, let's do this. Get some things to look at. My wife made me some beds, and I was like, that's too many beds, but now I don't really know for sure. I want the barracks to be on this wall, I think. I feel like the armory should be over there. Now the armory and the barracks should be near each other, because if people are sleeping, they should be able to get up and get their stuff. So it'll be over here. What we're going to do is take these beds. Now how am I going to do this? I've seen pictures of bunk beds. I think that works. I wonder how I'd make them look like they are being held up. Jeez, cat. This nighttime cat is so incredibly loud for someone who is like 8 pounds. She's a Scottish fold, purebred and tiny and incredibly whiny. Never get it in the right spot. There we go. Yeah, that does not look good. But you get the idea. So let's see. Something like that. Although I want to look around and see if I can find people who've done bunk beds before, and kind of try to get an idea for that. So in the meantime, my idea was this. I wanted to have enough space so I could have bunk beds on both sides of the room. And you'd walk through, and then there'd be another bunk bed. So that would make it so that the walls would come out pretty far. Really far. Maybe too far. let's see. That means... see, if I did it like that... that means if I wanted to even this first wall, I'd come all the way out to here. And then turn. What? Oh god, it's screwing me up. Let me take this down. So if I did that, that means the corners would just meet. If I was trying to not go any further over, that might not work out. So that's kind of a bust. Maybe not this wide. I guess that's why we would have bunk beds. So instead, if I did it this wide, I think it's too much. So if I did this, it's a little thicker around, and it's only by 2. I don't know if that's even enough for what I want to do. This is usually why I try to do some pre-planning beforehand. I'm just kind of trying to work out how much I would like to do this kind of stuff off camera beforehand, so that it's not always me just showing up and, hey guys, look what I did. I like to involve people on the building process, so at least you get to kind of an idea of what's going on in my head as I do this sort of thing. See, I kind of like that more. Then you can walk through, and what you would do is instead of having all the bed chests at the bottom of the bed, you'd have a room full of them, or maybe it would be just at the side of each bed there'd be a chest. So then you could do that between the beds. Or, if I was willing to pull this wall out one more, so I keep going back and forth on this, I'm not sure I want it. If I pull out the bed one more, then you can have chests at the bottom, and you see, I don't like how cramped that is. Trying to think of barracks rooms I've been in, actually, and I've seen both ways, really. I think what we're going to do is go with a side chest like that. So before last episode, I was doing some book enchanting. I was trying to find out, if it's really worth it. And I don't really think it is, because the randomness of the enchant kind of takes away from, I mean, it's supposed to give you more of control, I guess, over what you're enchanting, but at the same time, I got the same enchant off a level 30 enchant as I did on a level 15 enchant. So, you know, what's the point of wasting all that time to enchant something at a much higher level? Okay, I just put in this entire thing and it's not the right size. This is what I get for talking and building. So I got Aqua Affinity at level 30 and also at level like 20. And I don't know, I got Unbreaking 3 and I put it on a diamond pickaxe that I got Efficiency 3. Put it on Unbreaking 3 diamond pickaxe. This is probably one of the worst pickaxes I've had in a long time because they, I don't know, just feel super slow. Although I guess it is somewhat better than just an Unbreaking 3 pickaxe, which I think for a level 30 enchant is one of the worst ones you can get. I gotta make sure this is even before I continue. Okay. But I'm gonna have mobs spawn on top of this now that I'm putting this wall. So I think if you have if you're playing on hard and you have a very efficient mob spawner like an Ender's farm, and you can get to level 30 incredibly quick, then maybe book enchantments would be useful. Although I've been reading reports that people spending the time or doing in creative to enchant a book or stacks of books, and they're not getting Silk Touch. And I would think probably one of the #1 reasons I would ever enchant books is to try to get Silk Touch. And if it is that rare, I'd rather just burn through pickaxes. I mean, if you're rich enough and you can afford it, if you can afford the diamonds, then I don't see why, you know, as through 64 pickaxes, you're most likely going to get a good chunk of that to be have, you know, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, Silk Touch 1 versus a stack of books where you're not going to get a single Silk Touch book at level 30 on 64 of them. So I don't see the point of it. Now there's going to be supposed to be the rare enchantments that you find in dungeons, but I mean, that's cool and all for the people who cave. I like mining, but I'm not a big fan of caving. And you know, dungeons are, it's kind of hit or miss. You can do a lot of caves and you won't find any dungeons, or you'll just find them everywhere. I don't really think I don't think there's any that are completely 100% you can only find in dungeons, but they're rarer ones like thorns, and I'm sure Silk Touch and some other ones are going to be mostly you know, pretty much a kind of, you're more likely to get one in some dungeon somewhere. And then, you know, on top of that, that means if you're on a server that's been around a while, you're not going to get any of those. You can go pretty far out to go find a new dungeon somewhere that has books in it, because all the pre-generated ones won't have any. So there's all kinds of problems with that I'm not really a huge fan of. So, okay, this new thickness I think is working out better. what I don't like is I don't like it is open now that I think about it, and I do have an idea of what I'm gonna do about that. I went all the way out there, didn't I? I think I'm gonna bring it in one so it's not all the way to the edge of the gate. Trying to give you guys an idea of what is going on in my head as I do this, which is why I'm trying to do it on screen, but I guess not until it's done is it going to ever make any sense. Yeah, I think I like that more. I don't know, I take out these walls, I'm going to put them back up anyway. Let's okay. So yeah, what I'm going to do is have a little guardhouse here and then another wall, and that's going to open up to the barracks. And here, I'm going to have barracks, and then over here we're going to get to the armory, and then a little further on we'll have I think we'll have a kitchen or dining room and a kitchen, and then over here is going to be the stores, which will have an adjacent to the tower, and I'm going to put stairs up. There'll be 2 floors, I think, and then the stores over here. Well, let's see. Yeah, the stores will be this way on this side. And then over here, we'll have officers' barracks, and then the prison entryway down here. You'll have sergeant's barracks, and then you have the rank and file's barracks, and then officers' barracks, which will be somewhere else. Then we'll have the parade field training area. So yeah, it's kind of working out. I feel like I didn't get a whole lot done in this episode, except for making more squares and talking a lot. So let's we'll build up real quick and then see where we get, and go from there. So I'm just gonna start filling in walls and ceilings and see where it takes us. So yeah, I did half of the walls here, as you can see. I had a couple ideas. Well, one is, first of all, how we're going to get on the second floor, which I had already thought of. There are going to be staircases. I don't have any stairs on me. I wanted to do it so that anywhere you are in the fort, you can get to the top if you needed to. And the way we're going to do that is there's going to be a staircase here that goes up this direction, and also on this side going up that way. And then if you're over here, another set going up, and also over here going up. And then once we're up top, what I want to do is have two sets of staircases, one going up this way, another one going up that way, in each of the corners. So anywhere you are up here, you can also get up. Once we have some stairs, it'll make a little more sense. And I really just wanted to come up here and light up the area. But, yeah, I think the fort's coming along. I think it looks incredibly bland right now, so I understand if anybody out there has reservations on what it looks like. But it's going to not stay like this. What I'm actually going to do is, here when this episode ends, is go through and try to mark me out where these rooms are going to go and start, you know, divvying them up. And then we're also going to start putting in doorways and windows and taking away from some of the bleakness of just sandstone. I am not really 100% sure if I'm probably going to keep all of this sandstone on the ground. If I can find anywhere to sneak in other colors, I'm going to. You know, we could use a flag somewhere. A couple flags, that would always be good. And the Sultan's orange, maybe. Some other color. And one thing that I forgot to mention was I'm wanting to put a pair of bigger towers out front to flank the door, since the door is a weak point. They're either going to be out a bit, just maybe a 3x3, or they're going to be not even on the ground and just set above the door, as long as you can, and then out a bit. I can see it in my head, you probably can't. As long as you can see down on the door, that's what my ideas are. And probably get cracking on one of those off camera too, and show you guys before I build the second one or whatever. See where it gets us. And also do some of the staircases. I just wanted to show you guys kind of where I'm going with this. And then we'll get into the bits and pieces as the next episode comes in. Probably a majority of the buildings are going to be done. I don't know. Majority of this build is going to be complete. But yeah. You know what I should also do is there will be a thing across here where I'm going to start incorporating wood for sure. I have a ton of spruce, but I kind of want to go with the regular or the oak. I'm not sure. I like spruce probably the most of all the wood, and I have a ton of it. But I'm not sure what color I'm going to go with. But that's going to add a lot of color, I guess brown, to the walls, or to the inside of the fort here. And yeah, you know, this is a fort. It's not incredibly fancy, I guess, but it's not going to be super boring when we get down to it. It's just this, you know, building walls and the internal structure. That's the less exciting part of this build. But pretty soon we're going to get to, I think, what's the cool parts of this and seeing it all done. So thanks for watching, everybody. It's the end of this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It wasn't too boring. I know it was one of the slower ones. The last two have been kind of meh. But you know, we are building a fort. build the palace over here, and I don't think it is any less exciting or more exciting than actually building this thing. It's just that had more intrinsically detailed bits to it, but it's just as much of a box as this, and we're going to be adding all those little bits and bobs and fancy things as the time comes. And well, probably a lot of them will be off camera, just so I can do it without boring you guys. So thanks for watching. As always, please like and subscribe, so I know people are watching. If one day I just start getting no views on my videos, then I might just up and end this, but until then, I enjoy having some people watch it, and I will continue making videos until there's no reason to anymore. So I'll see you next time. Take care.